Hello.
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 Hi, monkeys. My beautiful monkeys.
Oh, are we starting now?
I start recording just in case, so it can show me the time, and I think we are good to go. So it's up to you guys.
Oh,
I can.
Awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we're live. Hi, folks.
Yes, hello.
Hi, people under quarantine out there in the world. Sorry you're dealing with all of this, but hopefully you're safe and healthy. How are you guys doing?
Good. Trying to catching up with the news and with the speed of life right now, which is very slow.
Mhm.
I feel like that my every day is the same. Like basically all the days are now the same for me.
Yeah, they just
They're all
blur
just
together.
mixed together now.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me realize which day of the week it is, it's because of our podcast schedule.
Jeez.
it's a good way to keep track.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so how are you guys? Like is life okay? Did you go out?
Life is okay. Even though we're considered broadcast and thus essential, we've decided to adhere to Ohio's stay-at-home order. It's just the prudent thing to do. So without that, it's been, kind of sucky to have nothing to look forward to and just kind of repeating the same day, Groundhog Day style. So I've just been trying to, create to-do lists and make a schedule. I was joking around with you guys that I think I'm more like I have more of a 9 to 5 now. That there's this coronavirus quarantine than I did previously. So what about you, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to adjust to life. Yeah, it's hard to live day to day when you don't know how long this situation will last.
So what have you guys, what do you guys, let's help the people out there. What are you guys doing to stay sane during all this? Do you have any tips?
I'm taking my dog on long walks around my neighborhood. There's usually not many people walking around my neighborhood, and if I see another person, I'll just go to the other side of the street. I've been doing that, and I've been listening to other podcasts on those walks, and I think that's been really.
What are you listening to these days?
Hmm?
What are you listening to these days?
I just finished listening to this podcast called Ars Paradoxica, which is about this physicist who accidentally invents time travel, and then she finds herself thrown back to 1943 and ends up on the deck of a military ship, and she ends up helping the government in the Cold War. And it's very interesting.
Podcast?
Hmm?
This is a podcast?
Yeah, it's a podcast. I mean, it's scripted. It's a story.
Oh,
It's fictional.
Gotcha.
seems like an audio book to me. But
Yeah, so it's like an audio drama.
yes, nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's really good.
Anything that helps you to stay sane, I would say yes to. But you know what? I'm not the best person to answer how people can, be sane right now because I am insane. I have been watching for some time now to find a new apartment, and I was doing. I mean, during the past few weeks, I was doing online tours, FaceTime tours of new places. I mean, potential places that we wanna stay next year. So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. Even though I'm an architect, it's hard to imagine how a place would be like. How let's say an apartment would be like without being in the space. You know, people try to show you with FaceTime, but it's not the same sensation of space, or it's something else when you can see the physical space, I think. So it's very hard to find an apartment solely based on internet photos and FaceTime tours. But the good thing, a lot of places.
Let me just give a quick rundown of what's going on. We have a couple people joining our Instagram live right now. Hello, folks. What we're doing is we're shooting. This is a little behind the scenes camera. We're shooting a podcast over Zoom right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. In the meanwhile, enjoy the behind the scenes angle. All right, guys. Sorry about that.
No, that's part of the whole thing. So I love that. I love that you incorporate the idea of like being live on Instagram and engage our audience.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the downtime. I mean, I've been on this project, right, where I've been like reorganizing all my footage from the past years and stuff. I mean, you gotta come up with shit to do. But yeah, the other thing I was doing was just looking through old gear and like updating firmware and things like that. So you got to tinker around with all the tools that are available, right? So
Yeah, gotta keep busy.
the Monkey Pie team waves hi to you guys out there in Instagram live land. Oh yeah, I guess we can do that. See? Oh, yeah. See? Oh, there they are. There they are.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so excited to have real audience.
Oh, have you guys done your stimulus checks?
Oh no!
Oh yeah, stimulus checks. Mine is my bank account.
Yeah, it's in your bank account now?
Oh
It's pending.
God.
So it'll be there, fully there soon.
Nice.
How about you
Yeah,
guys?
I woke up to a surprise today. Yeah, I came in this morning, but I think like my health insurance company is trying to screw me over on something, so that might be gone. But yes, that was a nice surprise.
Oh,
I was like, what? Money in the account and not going out? What?
you know what? It's not fair. I don't know. We are considered residents, U.S. residents right now for the tax purposes and like in general. So I'm not sure if the stimulus check is only going to U.S. citizens.
Wait, what? Yaz, you don't want your stimulus check? You want to donate it to me? Wait, what?
No,
What's going on?
it's just like that we didn't get it yet. So maybe it could be because that we are not U.S. citizens.
But you pay taxes, right?
We pay taxes, and you know what? To be honest, I didn't file the taxes. Naveed and I are filing taxes jointly, so it might be him who is getting the, getting the check. So I have to ask him. Maybe he get it. Maybe he got it and he didn't tell me.
Maybe you gotta ask.
Yeah. You know what? I told him that if I get the check, I will like invest it in stock market. And I was like that.
What's your
my strategy.
What's your stock tip of the day? What's Yaz's stock tip of the day? If someone had their life saving, would you put it in?
You know what? I have zero experience. So whatever I tell people, it would be just like a recipe. It could be a recipe for disaster, or it could be purely rookie's luck. So a rookie's luck. I mean, I don't know, charm, something. So I have no idea, but I was just like joking with Naveed that I want to do stock investment, and I was like, Yasi, you don't know anything about stock market, and the market is not the best time basically to make any financial decisions right now because of the whole uncertainty of the things. So
I mean, I feel like if you bought some stock in like toilet
Netflix.
paper or paper towels, you'd be fine.
Yeah, but even those, it could be like a bubble, just a bubble.
That's true.
Because totally, I was thinking about streaming services like Netflix or Disney, but Disney is not doing great because of the whole shutdown of their park. So, so I'm not the best person to make
it up with this.
Sorry, what? Could you repeat it?
I said, I'm sure they'll make it up with Disney Plus. They're probably like shooting themselves in the foot right now, like launching, not shooting themselves in the foot, but they're probably kicking themselves in the ass right now for launching Disney Plus at like $5.99 or something like that. Like, I think initially their whole goal was just to get as many subscribers as possible, right? It's just the numbers. But now during this quarantine, this is like, without their theatrical releases and that revenue stream, like Disney Plus.
Oof.
You both have Disney Plus?
I
Yes,
do not.
we have. But we don't watch because we don't have a kid. I mean, we have a kid, but it's a cat. So she doesn't understand.
Disney
Would
Plus
she like
has more
watching
stuff than-
other cats?
I don't know. Maybe we like unsubscribe after watching Mandalorian. I'm not sure. I have to check with Nevin.
They have like Marvel and they have National Geographic. They have a lot on there. And everything Star Wars.
Yeah. So speaking of the shows, what have you been watching lately, guys?
Sarah, you first.
Okay. Well, I recently finished watching Picard, the new Star Trek show.
Okay, how are we going to do this? Because I want to ask you a whole bunch of questions, but I don't want spoilers.
I know. I don't want to give you any spoilers because I know you haven't watched it yet.
Oh yeah. So just give us a thumbs up. I mean, probably there is no way that you don't like the show like that, right?
Well, you can
I love the show.
Like that is like why is it such a good show? You don't have to go into plot details, but like why is Star Trek Picard a good show? Keep your just like through what was it, like a 10 episode season 1?
Yeah, it's 10 episodes, so they followed a single plot line. And does Star Trek Picard revolve around Picard? Yes, so the show revolves around the title character, Jean-Luc Picard, who was main character from Star Trek Next Generation, which ran in the 80s and the 90s, which is a show I grew up watching with my dad.
And the movies from Generations to Insurrection.
Yeah, and the subsequent movies to the show.
Yeah.
So this takes place after Captain Picard's, well, he's an admiral now and retired, but he was captain during Next Generation, so Captain Picard.
Andrew
after his
just
retirement.
said hi.
Huh?
Andrew just said hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
You take care out there. Stay healthy. So okay, awesome, Picard.
Yeah.
And
so
what was the storyline? What's his big like goal in the movie? What does he got to do? Does he got to like survive? Does he got to defeat, like save the world, to save the universe? What's his deal? Or is this show about like him learning how to be retired? And
so him dealing with his retirement is part of it. So you see him like in the, I think in Star Trek Nemesis, one of the movies, the character Data, who's an android. I don't consider this a spoiler because the movie's been out for a long time, but Data died. And you see Captain Picard affected by how his loss is. I mean, it's
okay. Stop now. Stop now.
Yeah, but it's not a spoiler for Picard because it doesn't happen in Picard.
So it's good though. The whole series.
It's very good, and I've had some friends ask me who aren't into Star Trek if this is like a good show if you've never watched Star Trek before, and I think it is.
So you don't need to have like Trekkie inside knowledge to like understand the show.
It definitely helps some confusion someone might feel in the beginning. The show clears up everything on its own, though. I think eventually you just have to be patient. And there's definitely treats for past fans. Huh?
So Picard can just be a self-sustaining thing, though.
I think it can. I think it can be a self-sustaining thing because Picard is pretty much the only character from the Next Generation who is consistently there, because it's a whole new cast of characters. And it might help to have a little bit of background knowledge about all the different like species throughout space, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory by itself. So
Nice.
yeah, and I think the show is really interesting because like the Star Trek: The Next Generation is such like shows such like a bright, optimistic future, and one of the things I thought was interesting about the show is that the creator Gene Roddenberry said that he created the show in mind with there's only conflict that's coming from outer sources. There's no conflict among the inner cast because it's because it's like a paradise. It's the future is bright and everyone's learning. Huh?
That's not true. Worf was in conflict with everyone all the time.
Yeah, that's just Worf though. But that is the general
Yeah, and
Roddenberry wanting to write
with Picard sometimes, right? There was always
Yeah.
inner conflict. So despite maybe his best intentions when he started it out, the Next Generation, I think, had a bunch of internal conflicts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did have internal conflict, but like Star Trek Picard has a much more darker my point is Star Trek Picard has a much more dark outlook.
Which tone
on how society is functioning
than previous series?
What?
So you're saying that Picard's tone is darker than previous series?
Yeah, the tone
Gotcha.
is much darker, and yeah, it's much darker, which I think is interesting, and they have a lot of things that can be that are pretty relevant to politics today.
Yeah, especially the perspective of life after Corona. Like, who knows what will happen? And yeah.
And this takes place in the 24th century, so imagine like 300 years from now.
Oh yeah, 300 years. 280 years from now. Right? I don't know. I'm not good with math. So.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I loved it. And
so what's your final rating on it?
I would give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Jeez. Okay, it's pretty high. It's a good A. It's a good solid A.
I did have some things that I didn't like about it, but I think the good outweighed the bad.
Okay.
Yeah, and I won't get into that anymore because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Is it populated? Yeah. I don't want no spoilers. No damn spoilers. What about you, Yes? What have you been watching?
Okay, so just like the rest of America, we watched obviously Tiger King. So today I can ask you, how are you, all my cool cats and kittens? How are you doing today? This is Carol Paschal.
Are you doing like? Oh my God.
I haven't watched.
You just need to be like riding on a bike.
Yes. Yeah. So we watched that. I'm not going to talk about that because I think
Sarah hasn't seen it, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe we do a podcast later on it. It's up to you guys. But I think that because it's such it's the show that
Tiger King is so played out. It's so last week.
Yeah.
It's already old.
Yeah.
That's old news.
Yeah.
Joe Exotic's old news now.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone was crazy about it, so they talked and they heard a lot about it. So I just don't want to talk about it. But I just have a question for you. Did you watch the recent episode that they just released?
Yeah, the boy. Did you see the boyfriend's new look?
Oh, actually, I didn't watch it. So I was just.
Oh, you gotta watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me it was like, okay, the show is done. what is the purpose of like having an after show? And yeah, I didn't like to mess
Well,
with
I
my.
mean, it's not like a reunion or anything like that. It just follows up because
Mhm.
enough time has passed since the last episode, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just where, and then also it was kind of insightful to hear what the other characters or the other players in the documentary actually thought about Joe Exotic.
Mhm.
Because, you know, there's a lot of like sympathy plays in terms of like the structure of Tiger King.
Mhm.
So it's pretty revealing like what they actually thought of Joe Exotic in like an I mean, it's edited, but in a less edited format, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. And now all of them are famous, kind of like, so they are
Yeah,
enjoying
I know.
this
I know.
fame. So.
That was probably the least interesting part of the follow-up episode is like
Mm.
the question of how are you dealing with all this stuff,
Mhm.
like all the fame. But yeah, the story is just, I mean, it was the Tiger King was a phenomenon. It was a phenomenon for a reason. It was engaging. I mean, you can't get better than a character. The main character, there's this dude. He's got a mullet, like goatee. He loves guns. He lives in like what the Midwest South
Oklahoma.
area. Right,
Oklahoma.
right, right. Oklahoma. He's gay. He has multiple boyfriends. His mentor has like a harem of wives. And oh yeah, he's accused of plotting to murder his competition named Carol Baskins, who, by the way, may or may not have fed her ex-husband to tigers.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, you take that and you're like, wait, what? Based on a true story.
Yeah.
Seems like a train wreck.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to like, you don't have to do much to make this like a great series or documentary. They did. You just got to not fuck it up. But they took it to another level, I think, with their like structure, because
Mhm.
everything always ended on a cliff. That's why I watched it so fast. It wasn't because like I wanted to. It was like I had no choice. At the end of an episode, you're like, "What? All right, one more episode, one more."
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems
So
like,
Tiger
from what
King,
I've
yeah.
heard,
What's up?
I was gonna say, it seems like what I've heard about Tiger King is that the documentary crew had like really great access.
The great
Mhm.
access.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
true?
Yeah, and they had also inherited some like pre-shot material from another producer who was filming other like scenes and like other like media from Joe Exotic, because I think with this guy he wanted to be famous for so long.
yeah. He was like producing his own shows, his own shitty shows that he was like broadcasting on the internet.
Yeah.
And he hired this producer thought it would make a great reality show. This is like the like one of the creators of Inside Edition, who's like a producer. So it was like a legit dude that came over and filmed stuff and took over his show and brought up the production um, value or the production value. So that's where he got like some of the footage this
Yeah.
Netflix series.
Some of the
So,
unburned footage, because
oh yeah, Unburned. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a miss. There's just so many twists and turns in this thing. But yeah,
they had a crazy life. They had a crazy journey for sure. But that's not the show that I'm like recommending everyone to watch. Not because that probably they already watched it, but because I think it's just like good to know the subject. But I saw a lot of people just felt so much sympathy for Joe Exotic or like for different characters, and they cheered for like a wrong purpose. So yeah, I
yeah.
could.
But I mean, that's part of like, like you have a great character, right? When it's
Yes.
like like this, the subject matter,
Mhm.
the captivity in these zoos and the tiger as a subject isn't like a grand scale huge thing, but they've got characters that you just can't help but be invested in, from the workers, like even bit characters have such a unique, like that lady that returned to work after that accident, like within 5 days or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got all these characters, and that's the heart of, that's who we identify with, right? Is individual characters, not groups or concepts or anything like that. So it doesn't surprise me that Tiger King became such a phenomenon and divisive, and people had all this sympathy and for these characters. So it was also part, and that's why it's interesting, because it's to catch the after episode, the follow-up episode, is to hear the truth about how people really viewed Joe Exotic.
So I have a
Because
question.
you get, yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you. Did they show? I mean, did they include Carol in the after episodes? I mean, the last episode.
No, I don't recall. They talked about her, and they got opinions from everyone else, but
yeah,
don't recall.
yeah.
I don't think so.
I agree that there were like some facts like sketchy about her, but I think she didn't deserve all the negativity or negative publicity that she got from the show. So I just saw a lot of people make
She deserved
fun.
it. She murdered her ex-husband and fed him to tigers. Apparently.
There is no evidence. There is no evidence for that. So.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. We should do it like definitely maybe later do a podcast on Tiger King. Not just because of this like the let's say storyline and the characters or the stories, but just from the point of view of like how they treat it as a docu-series and like put like interesting subjects in each episode. So I think it might be an interesting thing to look at. It was very inspiring for me to watch what they did.
Because it's like an hour each episode, 10 hours. So we'd have to like, me personally, I'd have to like rewatch.
Yeah, I have to do it again. Okay, so it's just like an option. But okay, so the other show.
Like I said, that's so last week's news, dude.
Yeah.
We've already missed it.
Yeah.
I'm like Tiger King exhausted.
You have every right.
Because after I got hooked on the series, I just tried to absorb as much Tiger King news as possible, and now I'm over it. Anyways, anything else that you guys have been watching? What's our time looking like right now? We got
15 minutes.
Okay.
Actually less than 15 minutes, like 10 minutes on this like 40-minute thing. And after that, we can start like another thingy. But yeah, let's see. So, okay, I just want to like throw it very quickly in the air. So the other shows that I have been watching recently is like season 1 and season 2 of like the Westworld, and I started watching the season 3 because
how do you start season 1 and 2 and then start season 3? You finish season 1, move to season 2, finish season 2, and then start season 3.
No, it's like okay. So here's the
simultaneous starting.
No, because
you have like 3 screens.
No, okay. So yeah, I have to tell you this, that I watched some of the episodes before, and I started like watching season 3 first. But I realized that I don't remember shit about previous season. So we started to watch from season 1, and then we finished season 1, and then we move on to season 2, as you said, and then we start like catching up with the rest of season 3.
Okay, so
yeah, it's a very complex show. I don't know if you watch it or not, but
yeah, I'm on season 3. I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I was hooked on Westworld when it came out.
Yeah,
season 3 is going off the rails. It's it's lost its soul. It's lost its Westworldness. It's a different series now. It's not bad. It's like done well, but it's just different.
Yeah, let's like just the very
Where
recent
part
episode, it was just I I
this
told my
meeting, this
husband it's just like the show lost it totally. Just like a different show right now, and it is still very creative. Some of the questions that it's raising are really valid, and
it's interesting. Production value remains high, acting remains high. Evan Rachel Wood is fantastic.
she's fantastic.
Dude from Breaking Bad, I forgot his name.
Aaron Paul,
Aaron Paul, he's great. I like his character. The French dude from The Matrix.
Vincent,
Get,
Vincent something.
yeah, Vincent. Yeah, some French dude. I haven't figured out his character. His character throws me off, but he's a great actor. I liked him in The Matrix. So yeah, great cast. Great. I mean, it's still got all the like high level stuff. I'm just, like I just loved being in Westworld so much that being outside of it is taking me a while to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
So the world building in Westworld really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's such a
I
surprising
would want to
show.
spend time in Westworld.
Yeah, I wanna like not that I wanna like go to the amusement park and just like kill all the hosts or things like that. But I just
Yeah, I know that's the primary thing that you would want to do. It's like, okay, I'm going to murder fucking 10 Naveeds. I want 10 robots who look like Naveed, and I'm going to live out all my fantasies.
like the whole idea of like
Don't lie to us, Yaz.
no, I'm saying the whole idea of basically the whole idea of being immortal is just like very interesting. Being immortal and just be pure consciousness. So you are no longer is like attached to a physical body and it's only you. So I mean it's only your consciousness that matters. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that might be the future. You just upload yourself, your consciousness.
Okay guys, so we have like almost 7 minutes to the end of this. I can like now pause and then recap with you, Mike, talking about your favorite.
I had a prompt on the screen that said the host has extended.
Oh, really?
I got that too.
Oh, so probably I was like switching between the screens, so I didn't notice that. So that's great. Okay, so we'll continue as long as it goes. So these are the shows that I was watching. Basically, Westworld from season 1. I mean, rewatching it from season 1.
Right.
Till like the very recent episode. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Westworld for me, I've been watching more movies than shows because after Tiger King, I couldn't really like find another show to and then Westworld is like a once a week thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched a whole bunch of I saw the David Blaine special, his new magic special. That was kind of cool. David Blaine's dope. I remember him. He was an idol when I wanted to be a magician. I don't really want to talk about any of these movies. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to list movies I've seen. You tell me which one you're interested in and not worrying about being spoiled. The Rhythm Section, I saw that. Birds of Prey, Onward, The Hunt, Swallow, Spencer Confidential, Underwater, Bad Boys for Life, Bloodshot. Those movies.
So how was Onward? Because I really want to watch that.
Underwater?
No, Onward.
Oh, Onward. Okay.
Onward.
Oh, first of all, Pixar, you fucking get me every time. Every time they make me cry. Every time, just like just it swells, and then you try and push it in, and then you go, I can't hold it any longer. It was beautiful. It was unexpected. I think the story basically revolves around two brothers. Their father is lost, and they're basically trying to reunite with him, even if it might be just for a short period of time. And the main characters sort of switch by the end of it and shift, and the story arc switches, and who you think is the main character kind of switches. But they did a great build up of these two individuals and their quest, and you're along for the ride every step of the journey. It's great. So it's just like
That's the one with.
It's like the elves. I think they're elves, right? Or something
Oh
like
no,
that.
I was gonna say that's the one with Tom Holland, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. They play the brothers. So yes, Onward. Go watch it if you're ready to feel sappy and stuff. So, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, Bloodshot, which is just shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's mindless action. Let me just say this about Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is so weird to me, and I gotta get this. So, do you guys remember Vin Diesel was a director? He directed like an indie film called Strays, which showed a lot of potential. Do you remember he was in Saving Private Ryan? He was getting like, nods as this actor really stands out. I remember reading an article about it. Ebert, I think, called Vin Diesel as a big star before it happened, right? And then Boiler Room, it was a drama. Vin Diesel. And then somehow he turned into like Fast and the Furious, and he's doing all these like action movies. So he's in Bloodshot, which is like this talented guy who's just in this like, it's just generic sort of, it's like Universal Soldier, which is starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's kind of like Venom or Upgrade, but I think I like Venom or Upgrade a little bit more. So, and it's just weird to see this like talented actor director just completely just do the Fast and the Furious series. It's like pretty much that's it, right? That's all you associate Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't think that I remember him with anything rather than Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Or probably I saw him other stuff, but I said, "Oh, look, the Fast and Furious guy."
Yeah, it's so weird that like he can rake in over $1 billion with the Fast movie, but then if he does like Bloodshot or Riddick or Triple X, it's like not that big of a hit. It's Vin Diesel, the formula Vin Diesel plus fast cars, But anyways, the dude's talented if he wanted to. He could be a super dramatic actor. I mean, Strays was good direction. But yep, that's it. That's all I've been watching movies, and then just trying to keep sane over here because I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the opposite of you. I've been watching more TV shows. I don't think I've watched any movies.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that's what everyone's doing right now? It's just catching up on shows and
I think people need something that with the potential of like creating the momentum for them to look forward to watch a next episode day after day. Actually, that's how we basically plan our days in the past couple of weeks.
Is it around food or shows for you guys?
For us, it's around both. I'm not gonna lie, it's mainly around cooking because I bake so many stuff, so many like you guys see. I baked and like chocolate, like kind of like a chocolate chip cookie, a brownie with cookie dough, 3 apple pies with different types of frosting, and banana bread, navid.
Hey, you guys send me some of your apple pie pictures for the Instagram stories. Yaz is going crazy making the apple pies. So her skills have like gone off the root. I am now intimidated by Yaz's pies.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was saying like other than like cooking, which is now an essential part of our life, every night, Navida and I were watching like one episode, only one episode of like Westworld at the time, and it was something that we were looking forward every day to reach that certain hour and watch Westworld. Now we are totally catch up with the show, so we don't have like anything to look forward at night. So we
Oh
started
no.
no, but we started like watching Chernobyl because we haven't watched that before. So we are on episode 2 right now. So I haven't watched.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's quite a show. I like the I like how HBO is like transforming the whole idea of like shows with their high quality production. Basically, each episode of the show is like a movie with the
Oh
amount of
yeah, yeah. It's been that way for like ever. Who? What was like the first big show that just like stepped it up and like every episode was like a movie. It was it like what's the big one with like the dragon that ended recently?
you are talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, was it that? How
I
long ago did that come out? Because every episode was an expensive production, you know.
mhm.
And fast forward to today, I mean, these Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus, I mean, they've got like $200 million budgets, you know?
Mhm.
So those are like blockbuster movie budgets, you know, 100 to $200 million for a fucking WandaVision television series. I mean, that's crazy like money, you know? So those are essentially just like long movies. But as far as I can tell, like Game of Thrones, like HBO, right, really
Yes,
stepped it up with.
yes.
I mean, Westworld continued on, Game of Thrones. You know, it didn't look like TV, like Lost or Walking Dead. You know, those look like
Mhm.
TV
Mhm.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how with HBO they always kind of include, at least with their big shows that I watched, like Game of Thrones and like Westworld, they always include like the behind the scene or like a more detail into the episode that you, a more detailed look into the episode that you just watched. So they will show you a little behind the scenes or how like the production designers come up with like a specific set design or ideas, and you will see their like VFX artists talking. So I like that, and it shows that they are how serious they are with creating high quality content, and also obviously expensive content.
Ooh, money, money, money.
Yeah.
Good
Who
for them.
knows? Who knows? Maybe one day they buy a docu series from us. But I hope they continue the same thing because I've heard that I don't know if it is right or wrong, but apparently AT&T just bought HBO, and the new CEO just said that, oh, we have to keep up with Netflix, so um, no more high cost production, or let's say less high cost production.
How do you not keep up with net? How do you keep up with Netflix without the budget? I mean, that's part of what makes Netflix, right? Is they have the budget to go out and get IP and then produce like high quality shit, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, what, Bright? That movie starring Will Smith? That was a big Hollywood production budget as well, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, they're doing so many crazy things. I don't know how you can do that without the money.
Yeah, but you know what? They have also a lot of like shows, so they have a tons of like content to offer for audience to watch. With HBO, they don't have that many, uh, let's say, shows or diversity in their like broadcasting program. So that's um, that's what they want to do. They want to like reduce the budget for like some of their shows so they can be able to produce more uh, more lower budget shows. So, but yeah, you're right. It's hard to catching up or beating Netflix at this time.
Technical difficulties. They froze on me. Did they leave me? Hi. Are you back?
We froze.
The pros,
Yeah. I lost you for like 15 seconds. I felt even more isolated than I did 5 minutes ago.
With our frozen faces right in front of you.
Yeah. I was like, no, don't go. It's my only human interaction for the day.
Yay. So we are almost at 45 minutes right now, but you said that we have an extended session. So I just want to give you a heads up with the time.
Okay. Well, this is good. I like the Zoom format despite its security potential flaws, but we're not divulging any super secrets. So, yeah. What else? Amazon Prime. I mean, that's another big. They're kind of underrated, right? I'm looking forward to The Boys season 2. That's no one knows that, huh? No.
I've seen the trailer, I think, for it.
Okay. It's like a
So it might sound kind
super
of
comic-y type.
it might sound kind of counterintuitive. Oh, I have like a thing saying that your internet connection is unstable. Okay, never mind. So it might sound counterintuitive, but we kind of like we didn't like renew our like Amazon Prime membership because we thought with the Corona situation we are not ordering online, which again that might sound a little bit crazy, but we thought we don't need that many stuff, so we just cancel our Prime account. So
Oh, but Amazon Prime has Good Omens, which I didn't watch recently, but I love Good Omens.
No, I didn't. I always see it, but I don't watch it. I haven't watched it. That's an interesting thing, though. Like, what is this world coming to? I've heard recently that some expert was saying that quarantine came to like 2022. I need to do that till 2022 in order to like pay.
Don't
so
say that. That's 2 years.
I mean, Amazon Prime, I'm so used to Amazon delivering like the next day. Like, what is this fucking 4 or 5 day bullshit? What is this? What happened to the speed?
When I lived in Manchester, there were a couple times where I ordered something in the morning and I had it by the afternoon.
Yeah.
There were so
same.
many.
Back when I was in the Bay Area, they had certain areas where they could do same day delivery for certain like products. I mean, I'm just finding things to bitch at. Ultimately, I'm glad that we're all three of us are, knock on wood, barely looking in good shape right now. But
yes.
I mean, it's a crazy world out there, man. Like I was talking like the lines just to get into the grocery store now. I heard pork might be like the largest pork manufacturer or distributor had to shut down because of an outbreak with their employees. So like pork meat in general might be a scarcity. Ugh, not good for someone on the carnivore diet.
Wow.
But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, we'll watch Onward to get your mind out of stuff like this.
I do want to watch Onward.
Feel good movie. We should do a series on good movies because I went through a feel good movie phase. So just some good recommendations for the people out there. They get their spirits. Good. Yeah. None of this fucking rewatching Contagion.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't do that anymore.
I don't want to watch any more pandemic movies.
Yeah, I just wanna watch like something lovely and bubbly, and it's okay if it makes me cry, like Onward, but I like that type of crying.
A good cry.
Yeah, that's a good cry.
And it might just be weeks. It wasn't like overly. It might just be me, but it is more just a feel good movie than a make you cry movie. So
yes, yeah, it touches the right spot on your human spirit. Those type of movies, they will like just touch the right spot.
Exactly. Yeah, I need movies like this to remind myself I'm human. Sometimes I wonder, like, well, where are these emotions?
You know what? Maybe you are an elf and you don't know yet.
I don't think I got the ears for an elf.
Yeah, that's
Well, we don't know what elves truly look like.
I've seen Lord of the Rings. I know what they look like.
yeah.
I'm trying to get back on the. So a friend of mine said that he recently rewatched the Hobbit series, and I couldn't get past the first Hobbit when it first came out. I think the Peter Jackson shot it and outputted it at 48 frames a second, which is like twice the frame rate of normal motion pictures, and it just looked weird to me. So I couldn't get past like 15 minutes. So I'm rewatching it now in a remastered like version of it, and first episode's surprisingly good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
I
and they
couldn't get
too
past the third movie.
display. Wait, what?
I couldn't get past the third movie. I love Lord of the
Oh.
Rings, but I don't really like Hobbit movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that too, but I've only watched the first Hobbit movie. But in that movie, they have elves too, so I'm pretty sure I know what they look like.
Okay, I'll give
All I'm
it.
Okay.
saying. All I'm saying. So.
Yeah, great.
I'm giving you guys opportunity and space here. I feel like I've been talking a lot. No dead silence. Come on, radio rule.
Okay.
Let's
Dead
see.
air, people.
I've been watching quite a bit
Go ahead.
of anime recently.
Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. For people that don't know, Sarah is, even though I am technically like genetically Asian, she is the most Asian person in our crew. So she just revealed that she likes to watch anime.
I do.
What?
I debated it, but
Really?
you know what? I'm not ashamed.
All right, what are you watching? Like what? Ghost in the Shell?
No, I just watched Demon Slayer.
Ah. I have no idea what it is, but
Well, first of all, the animation is really beautiful. Like, I think the animation really stands out for Demon Slayer.
Is it very Asian-y? Do they have like abnormally large eyes?
Oh yeah, it's the big eyes, and it's also it takes place in the early 1900s. So it's historical.
You have pretty big eyes.
me?
I think.
Yeah, so you have pretty big eyes.
Really? I'm Asian.
Yeah, you always look surprised, is what we're trying to say. Yeah, I know another character you're gonna add to your Westworld visit. You're gonna fucking murder a lookalike of me.
You've earned yourself a spot there.
I know. It's all right. I'll hang out with the 9 other Naveeds.
Yeah. If you are a character in my Westworld, I would make sure that they will have your pain code on all the time. You can suffer.
Are you going to make them listen to a speech first about how you've been successful without any of their help?
No need for that. They are not going to remember it anyway. Yeah, the point of it is just killing them and just relieving yourself from some anxiety. So.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Dragon Slayer.
Oh, Demon Slayer.
And it's dope, and it's an animation.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I really like it because the main 2 characters are brother and sister, and so normally, like anime, there's a focus on a romantic relationship, but they just portray this beautiful bond between brother and sister, and it's really nice.
Ooh. So is it like in Japanese? So you are watching it with subtitles?
Yes, I'm watching it in subtitles.
Ah. Have you learned some Japanese words?
I learned a couple of Japanese words when I was in Japan, and there are some words that I recognize from watching anime.
What part of Japan did you go to again?
I went
Tokyo.
to around Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto areas.
Okinawa?
I sadly no. I would love to go to Okinawa.
Cherry Blossom Festival? Sushi?
Cherry
Yes.
Blossom Festival.
So much sushi and ramen. and all of the other great food.
Dude, you know what? They were fucking. These are smart, right? There's no shaking the hands. That's less coronavirus, right? You just bow. I think we might move into the like. How long do you think before we like go out and without thinking shake people's hands again?
I don't know.
A
Are
year?
people gonna keep shaking hands like before?
That's changed. I'm just thinking like, is there ever a time, and how many years will it take for us to get back to this huggy, handshaky society?
You
Dapping
know,
up people,
Yeah.
like, or do we ever return, or are we now forever changed permanently?
Oh
I've been
gosh.
I've been thinking
We,
about this a lot.
bow like the Japanese.
You know what? This new apartment that I'm looking forward to renting, it has a pool. I truly hope that the whole situation will be back to normal by the end of summer, so I can use at least the pool that I'm paying for in my rent.
Well,
Ooh, I want to
chlorine,
come
right?
use your pool.
Wouldn't chlorine kill corona? Is it virus? Chlorine, right?
But what if
Put that in
someone
water.
pees in the pool?
That's
so
why there's chlorine.
yeah, it could be. It could be the case. But yeah, seriously, I was reading the New York Times article last night, and it was saying that probably normal handshakes and hugging are not going to be a thing in years, for years from now on. And I was like, wow, what the?
Because I don't know, I think of my grandpa when I think of these things, because my grandpa grew up during the Great Depression, and the habits that he gained as a kid, he kept throughout his entire life, like hiding money under the stairs or in his mattress, and like having his basement was always stocked full of tons of food. And yeah. So I don't know. So I think people might keep habits that we are getting now for a long, long time.
Is your grandpa still living?
No, he's not.
Yeah, researchers warn social distancing may be needed until 2022. Global cases surpass 2 million. That's where we are today. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm watching comedy tonight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid this, but I felt it was relevant to look up while we were talking, and that was a mistake. Shit.
You know what? We have to definitely watch some like good spirited movies. Like I'm thinking personally, the shows that I've been watching recently, they are not helpful at all. Like look at the Chernobyl. It's about like a human catastrophe, and in that
What else
movie,
are you doing, dude? That's the wrong move. That is the wrong move, Yaz. You don't want a disaster.
yeah,
See, I feel like you either need to watch comedy or some sort of sad fiction that's no way related to reality.
No, I'm just saying that I was doing it all wrong, because even the season 3 of Westworld.
I know. I was just agreeing with you. All wrong.
Yeah, all wrong. So I'm doomed. I think that like I was thinking about rewatching some of the old good classics, like maybe cowboy or western style. I don't know.
Western. I went through a Western phase. 310 to Yuma, Open Range, Slow West, Magnificent Seven, Tombstone. I've been writing lists down. So I have comedy action, comedy horror, comedy romantic. Choose. I'm going to give you 5 recommendations.
Comedy romantic.
Romantic comedy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. New or old?
Old. I mean,
Old.
yeah.
Okay. Do you remember all the old school stuff like Notting Hill? Let's see. 500 Days of Summer. That's kind of like a dramedy, romantic. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. When that came out, every freaking filmmaker wanted to make a movie like 500 Days of Summer. It was such a horribly cliched fucking phase for everyone. As good as it gets, America's Sweetheart. Let's rewind to As Good as It Gets.
American Sweetheart.
Jack Nicholson, you make me want to be a better man. Eh? Eh? I
Ah.
tried using that line on someone. They were like, that's from a movie. I was like, shit.
You were caught.
I was so caught red-handed. Like, you don't understand. You make me want to be a better man. That was from that movie. Like, fuck. Crazy Stupid Love, that's actually more recent.
Yeah.
Let's see, Eat, Pray, Love.
I want to
Jerry
watch it.
Maguire's Old School, Show Me the Money. That's a feel good, right? What was in Notting Hill? Remember that? That was Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Any Hugh Grant movie is kind of a good romantic comedy, right? So what was the famous line from Notting Hill? I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy. Something trying to ask him to love me or something like that. But that was a famous line. Julia Roberts says to Hugh Grant at the end, I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy. It Could Happen to You. Nicolas Cage, Bridget Fonda. He's a police officer and he forgot his wallet. And so he's at a diner. So I'm going to pose a question to you guys. What would you do? He's a cop. He's at a diner. He needs to leave. He forgot his wallet. He can't pay for his meal. So he says to the waitress, I do have this lotto ticket. I'll split it with you if I win. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow to pay you back. And so they let him go. He goes and he finds out that he's won like $10 million. And so now he has to decide, I did say I was going to split it with her. Do I do it? Do you do it? Yaz, you're up first. Do you do it?
No.
No?
It should be obvious.
You don't tell her?
No.
You just go back and give her a fat tip, huh?
Yeah.
You probably go back, pay her $3.99, and then give her like $100, huh?
Yes.
But no $5 million. What about you, Sarah?
No.
I don't think I would give her half, but I would give her a portion.
So you're going with the percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And Yaz, you're going with the dollar amount, right? So what's your dollar amount over your bill?
20% of whatever the bill is. That's
You're just giving her 20%. Oh, you are the stingiest. You are the stingiest. All right. I hope if I have to wait, I'm waiting on Sarah. She's at least going to give me like 5%. What's the percentage? 5%, 10%, 20% of the total winnings.
20%.
Wow, 20% of 10 million. So that's $2 million, right?
Mm-hmm. Because that's still a lot. But I still get to keep a lot for myself.
Come on, listen, girl. If you want to do a production, $8 million is like nothing. If you want to do
it, that 10 million gets like whittled down a lot after taxes and if you take a balloon payment and stuff. So your 8 turns to probably 3 really quickly. So you're gonna keep that in mind too.
Okay, I wouldn't give her more than $1 million.
You know what? I will do a favor. I will run a business with my money and then hire her on a higher salary job. So I think that's a good win-win situation for both of us.
I mean, it's at least something.
Better
It's
than
at least
20%.
something. I just would never like make that promise. I'd say if I win, I'm coming back and giving you $1,000. You know, something like that. But you know,
I'm the
like the karma gods would listen in and go, "Well, you're not winning then."
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that was your like romantic comedy. Oh, do you have any new suggestions?
Yeah, you know, I like this movie Plus One that came out recently. Yeah, Netflix one. Plus One. Always Be My Maybe. You guys have probably seen that though, right?
Yeah, it's Asian people, so I would definitely watch.
Yeah, Randall Park is dope. He's my rap avatar. And then there's another Netflix one, Set It Up. That one's pretty good. It's with Zoe Dutch or something like that. Zoe Dutch. That's a good one.
Oh, Plus One also has an Asian girl in it.
Wait, what?
Plus One has an Asian girl in it. Right? Is it this one? Oh, Maya.
Oh, yeah. I think she's like part Asian or something like that.
Yeah, it's Maya. Okay, yeah, Maya.
Yeah. She's a hapa.
Okay.
Yeah, romantic comedies. Those are good ones.
Oh, I thought of an old romantic comedy that I like a lot.
Which one?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah, Heath Ledger. That one's good.
So good.
I like the supernatural stuff, like Family Man, What Women Want.
Was it the Mel Gibson one?
Yeah, What Women Want. He has an accident and he can hear the thoughts of women. So it started off like, oh, this is such a gift, and then it turned into a curse. I think I actually think about me at all times.
I think it would be terrible to hear other people's thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
No matter their gender.
And then they had that horrible remake. Well, I have only watched like a few minutes of it before I decided I can watch it again. But what Men Want, starring I forget who's in it.
Oh, I saw the trailers for that.
I have an update. It's snowing outside.
Really?
Could you believe it's like April? It's April 15 or 16. It's April 15 and it's snowing.
You know, I feel like it does this every year, and every year I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 days of snow during.
So I remember when I was like 10 or something, and it was Easter was also in April, and it was just a blizzard. And
wow.
It's just living in the Midwest.
It's strange. It's strange. Just like strange.
At first I was like, it's good to not be in California right now with the start of the pandemic, but they're doing like surprisingly well. Complete opposite numbers wise as like New York. So
yeah,
is good. I think we got good leadership over here in Ohio. The wine's been on top of things, right? So
yeah, the wine's been praised for doing good things.
I think one thing that helped California a lot is that a lot of companies, especially high tech companies, they have the technology that enable their worker or employers to work from home. So everyone is taking these measures.
And the timing, right? They were the first to announce. Like San Francisco had the shelter-in-place order before anyone. So I think that was a big part of it. Is on top of the technology. And the ability to do most of their business, especially in Silicon Valley, from home. But California weather does not snow there, not right now.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe the snow makes it easier to stay inside.
Yeah. So Mike, what are the other genres of on your comedy list? Horror comedy, you said, was one of them?
Oh yeah, I was interested in horror comedy.
That's mostly like zombie flicks. So like, let me just pull up the list. But like Shaun of the Dead, the Edgar Wright trilogy, Hot Fuzz, End of the World. Let's see. What was the Warm Bodies? Remember that?
I like that one.
And Teresa Palmer. Let's see. You probably not heard of this. Deathgasm. John dies at the end. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Okay, here's a good one. Ready or Not. That came out last year. Samara Weaving. I probably talked about it once. The Cabin in the Woods. You guys,
Ah.
the meta take on horror flicks. A good overlooked one that also has a lot of heart is called The Final Girls. So yeah, so basically there's this character, right? She lost her mother. There's a movie premiere that night. They're watching a horror movie. Her mother was a scream queen. She was an actress, and they're replaying this movie, this girl's mother's movie. So she decides to go to the premiere or the replaying of this classic horror movie. And somehow she gets, along with some of her friends, sort of in a way teleported into the movie, I guess you can say. So she is now in this horror movie, trying to stay alive and dealing with the fact that she's in this movie with her dead mother, who doesn't, who just believes she's this character, doesn't know that, this is her daughter. And so that's where the heart element of the movie comes in, and the plot element, it revolves around her trying to figure out how to get the hell out of this movie. And it's called Final Girls because there's this horror movie trope, right, where, there's always one final girl left. So.
Sounds scary.
It sounds really intense.
It's not, though. It's under comedy horror.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very meta, they're aware that they're in a movie. So, and they're aware that these tropes are coming. They're aware of the things that people should and shouldn't do,
But so. they can die for real, right?
Apparently.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
You don't want to take a chance on that.
Yeah. What movie out there, and we can probably end on this. So each of you, what movie world out there would you not mind living in? Like if you had to be permanently transported into this movie world or universe, where would you be like, okay, I'd be fine with this?
I have my answer.
All right, Yas, you're up.
The Avatar world after the whole human, like bad humans, just like they left the planet. I just want to live in that world.
As like a human being, or as one of the blue creatures?
As one of the blue creatures.
Oh, you're tripping. I don't want a tail. You want a tail?
Oh, I have to think because I feel like this is how they fought.
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounded dirty, and I'm going to erase it from my brain.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't mind. I don't mind having a tail. My daughter, Lucy, has a tail, and she's perfectly fine.
Your daughter's a cat, by the way. And people are scratching their heads going, what? What did she just say?
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, you've had time to think. What movie world, if you were transported in, you'd be completely complacent and happy?
That's such a hard one. Is it okay if it's a TV show?
Sure. What are you going to choose? Star Trek?
I did think Star Trek at first because I'm like, oh, that's like, I think that's the one I'm going to go with because Star Trek.
Future, health.
Future things are.
Everything is like inclusive stakeholding.
Societies in order.
Yeah.
You can travel so easily. Because the other one I thought of was the TV show Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because Yasi said Avatar, so I thought of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool world. You can have these powers where you can manipulate the elements. But I think for day-to-day living, Star Trek, probably not on one. I don't know if I would want to be on one of the exploration ships or not. Would be pretty peaceful life.
On the same token, though, that does sound kind of boring if you're not exploring. If you're just, You know, everything's provided for you. You have a job assigned, but you know, everything is nice and taken care of for you. I'm sure there'll be other
Yeah,
things to concern yourself with. If you have a family,
it does.
with that family, I'm sure it doesn't get boring then in that case.
Yeah, I think the most intriguing part of living in the Avatar world is just like the fact that I can discover a lot of new creatures
I'm
and
pretty sure I would end up on one of the ships.
All right.
Actual life choices.
Froze. I think it's your turn, Sarah. You froze.
Sarah, you are froze. Yeah, you're. Oh, she's gone.
Oh no.
No, we lost her. Oh, she's back.
She's frozen again. I think this has turned into a horror movie. That blank stare right now looks like it's out of like Unfriended the movie, Unfriended Dark Web. Yeah. Fucking scary.
Oh no.
Was that everyone?
Oh, you are back.
I don't know what happened. It just everything went away. And then it came back.
Welcome to post-corona world.
Goodness.
So, Mike, it's your turn. What is your ideal world? I mean, from the movies that you want to live in and you want to explore.
Yeah, I don't want to say Star Trek, even though that's like realistically probably what I'd be drawn to. So let me think of something else. What universe? See, part of me wants to think different. Like, would I want to be in like the Tarantino universe? What about the Kevin Smith universe? The Marvel universe? Like, but I think I'm such a techie and gear dude. It would have to take place in the future, so it couldn't be Star Trek. Star Wars is not bad, but I was more Trekkie than a Star Wars dude. Let's see, what other futuristic movies are there? Like, if I could be Neo, I can go to the Matrix world, because then I could just like fucking rock and be a superhero that way.
Well, there's Stargate, but unless you're one of the members.
I used to be totally hooked on the movie Stargate. I thought it was like this hidden gem that I discovered.
Is it really a hidden gem?
I mean, it's a cult classic, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not as much as like Dune, but still, like, not a lot of people know Stargate. I mean, I guess TV series. I'm thinking of the movie. I didn't watch.
No, I love the movie.
Oh, she's frozen again.
I'm frozen?
A little bit. I think now we have you back. Welcome back.
Oh, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to live in the mutant world. As long as I can choose my power, then I would choose someone with like longevity, like Wolverine. That way I can go into the future and see the iPhone 50 and the PlayStation, 400. Yeah. Something like that. Cool. All right, people. Well, so like this is our first virtual like podcast. I'm thinking that everything this is just what we're gonna have to do to continue broadcasting until the stay-at-home order sort of like gets lifted.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, stay at home. Create a schedule, create a routine for yourselves. That's helped me a lot. Keep in touch with your family and friends, however you can. Consistently, just reach out to the people and keep your head up. Watch some comedies. Don't watch Contagion.
Yeah.
And
I have a final word for LaCroix. Come on, LaCroix. I'm using your products all the time. Please sponsor us. Or maybe you just send like enough LaCroix to our place. That would be enough.
Yeah, dude. There's a 10% chance, right? 1 out of our 10 subscribers work for LaCroix. I'm just kidding. By the way, talking about subscribers and content and stuff like that. We plan on doing these once a week. So it took us, like a week or two to see how things were playing out over here in the Midwest. But this is something that I think we can do. So we'll be back. Visit us on our socials and like and subscribe if you have any ideas on what you guys want to hear us talk about. Otherwise, we hope we filled your day with a little bit of bullshit, maybe made you smile once or twice, know a little bit more about us. We want to find out more about you. So stay tuned. Okay?
Yeah, guys. We hope to see you next
guys,
time soon.
nice seeing you too again.
Yeah.
Yes, nice seeing you guys.
Nice seeing you guys, and nice seeing you, our dear subscribers and audience.
All right. All right, guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Please feel free to like and subscribe. Ask these people.
Yeah, hit that button. We want to hear from you.
It's so easy. And you will not get disappointed.
Yes.
Please cut that last part.